Alright, you guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be looking at starting hands. One of the unique things about U150 is the fact that if you're taking your 15, you get to choose your prizes. It's not necessarily a skill that many people learn or practice. So Grady and I are gonna sit here and just kind of talk through some stuff, and hopefully it's educational.
Yeah, we're gonna deal out some sample hands of 15 and talk about what we would prize and how we would do that hypothetically. So I honestly, this is the biggest skill gap I think between U150 and like a standard game, because the way you determine your prizes and what you keep in your opening hand really can determine like the course of the game. Honestly,
Oh yeah, it's such a huge part. It's like probably about a quarter of the skill level of U150, right? Like, part of it's building your deck, part of it's playing your deck, and I think a good other quarter of it is picking your prizes.
Yeah. Also, that's only 75%. But
well,
yeah.
And then the other third is luck. The other fourth is luck. Sorry, shut up. I've always said that like Pokemon is a quarter how you play your deck, a quarter how you build your deck, and a quarter luck, or a third. Sorry, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like fuck it. Damn it. Shit. Ass. All right. All right. Well, we know what we do. See, that video screwed me up, man. I can't. We watch Bill O'Reilly and we get screwed up. Anyways, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 3 sample hands over 3 different decks. We're gonna do a stage 2 deck, then a stage 1 deck, and then a unique deck. So this first deck we're gonna do is Infernape.
Mm-hmm.
And any last things before I draw 15 cards?
Nope. I think we're just gonna do the process together. We're not gonna do it separately, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. 15 cards out. It's actually a pretty decent starting hand, actually.
Can you make it a little bigger? Oh, never mind. I'm good. Okay, we're good. So first off, prize the Iris like 100%.
Yes, prizing Iris, and you definitely start the Dunsparce, and you don't want to prize the Baltoy.
Yeah.
So I think the rule of thumb is always take your starting stuff and then be like, okay, you're gonna prize things that you can either afford to prize, and you don't want to prize that. Like, obviously this Parasect, for instance, it's not something that we're gonna use right away at all. But yeah. I don't think we can afford to prize it.
Yeah, I don't think you want to keep the Porygon too as well.
Yeah.
Just because you don't want to prize that, and you're going to be able to strike and run into Porygon and use it like turn 1. Mm-hmm. You don't really have like a good supporter though, is the thing.
No, but we do have turn 2 Claydol. So
I guess you keep the Karina.
Yeah, the Karina you take. I think the prizing the 2 energies is fine. There's 18 energies in this deck.
Yeah.
So prizing 2 is fine. Now we're at 6. We have 1 more off of this.
Mm-hmm.
Palpad and Swoop get axed right away, I think.
Yeah, because you're gonna swoop into the Spiritomb anyway, or striking onto the Spiritomb, so you're not gonna be able to swoop. I think by that same logic, Bill just goes.
Yep. Marley's and Secret Mission.
Yeah, I think you just keep the AZ.
AZ can because what AZ can do is it can break your item lock. Right?
Yeah.
Because your first turn is going to be start Spiritomb, attach, bench Baltoy, strike and run into the Porygon,
Spiritomb.
Spiritomb, and then what's the Infernape? It's
Chimchar? No,
yeah,
that's
Chimchar. Yeah, right? Chimchar? Chimchar.
Whatever.
It's Chimchar.
Basic, yeah.
It's Chimchar. So you go into those 3, and that's actually a pretty decent hand. So then you swoop into those 3, and then the next turn you Karina for Claydol, you evolve to Porygon 2, and then
you're off to the races.
Yeah, then you Baltoy away the Parasect, or Claydol away the Parasect.
See, I think the first thing you always want to look at is like which cards are going to be good late game, which cards are going to be good like mid game, which cards do I really want like in my opening hand. Like in this case, like Iris, you can just 100% throw that in your prizes because you know you're not going to want to use that till very later on down the line. So.
Correct.
It's kind of a process of elimination at first, I guess.
Yeah, I would say so. Late game, early game, and then stuff that you just can't afford to prize. Stuff like the Porygon 2. Like the Parasect obviously gets Claydol back into your deck, but it's not something that you can afford to prize.
No. And I think you always also have to mulligan under the assumption that your opponent's going to start Spiritomb.
Yes.
I think if you have a hand that's like, oh, this hand is really good, if he doesn't start Spirit Tomb, like if you have 6 items in your hand or something.
Yeah.
But you can't keep a hand like that if they do start Spirit Tomb, and you would be fucked then. You know what I mean? Like,
especially if you go first.
Yeah.
Because you can't play those items anyways, and then they get their search items to get their Spirit Tomb. So.
Yeah. So I'd be very cautious about keeping a handful of items. So.
Yep. All right. Let's try it. Another. Your deck is empty. Oh. Load deck to you.
That one was pretty easy.
That was pretty easy, yeah.
Yeah.
So this one again is another Dunsparce start.
Yeah. So that right off the bat, you just keep Dunsparce energy.
Yep. Prize the Iris again.
Yep. Keep the ball toy. Keep a Porygon.
Yep. Keep the ball toy. Keep the Porygon. Keep the Paris.
Oh, you actually just have Collector.
Right, but we can't.
This might be a weird space, like where turn 1 you actually don't want to Collector. I'm not sure.
Well, you have Strike and Run, so it's I think the debate is between prizing one of these two. I don't think you keep both of them. You either keep the Collector or you keep the Porygon.
Yeah. Thing is, you don't really have another supporter you want to play turn 1. Because you have Lysander, which is going to be useless, Blacksmith, and then Marley's. So I think if anything,
yeah, you could Collector if they do something screwy and like kill your Baltoy. You could Collector for the Uxie or the Lapras.
Yeah, I think you'd rather keep the Collector, just because you don't have another. If you had another supporter like N or something, I think you want to keep the Porygon, because you can just end turn 1. But I think in this scenario, you just want to keep the Collector because you don't have another supporter worth playing.
Right. So you prize those other supporters, and now I think you can afford to prize the Rare Candy because you play Rare Candy and Breeder.
Yeah.
The energy removal is very dependent on what you're playing against.
I think the Stretcher goes in 100%.
I think the Stretcher, yeah, because you also have other ways of recovery. Yeah. Although Marley's is going away too, so there's 2 of your 4 recoveries.
I think Blacksmith is one of those cards where it's not going to be useful to us, but you don't want to prize it.
Correct. That's what I was.
That's another thing where like certain cards, you know, they're not going to be useful necessarily in your opening hand, but they're like way too good to be prizing.
Right. That's where
going to be.
That's where the Paris is falling in as well.
Yeah. You're going to be fucked mid game if your Blacksmith is prized.
I think here's one of the energy removal. Like as much as you want to keep it, it's not quite on the level of Blacksmith is.
Yeah,
of like you need to keep it, and one of these 2 cards is just going to be strictly better than the energy removal.
Yeah, and you're going to be going to the Spirit Tomb anyway, so you're not going to most likely be able to play it.
Right. So here you can take the BTS and hope you get some evolutions off of your Spirit Tomb into the Baltoy, or you can take the computer search on the hopes of maybe they knock out Spirit Tomb and you have it to answer with.
Yeah. This one I wouldn't really care either way.
Which would you go?
I'm looking at our prizes, trying to see maybe we just keep the Porygon and toss both of these 2.
Ooh, that's scary though. I don't like that because the Porygon you're fine with. Like the Porygon you're fine collecting for the other Porygon.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's why I said that's the debate there. So I would prefer the computer search personally.
Yeah, I'd probably take the computer search.
As much as Broken Time Space is really, really good, I think the computer search is going to open up some plays mid game.
Yeah. Similarly with this hand, you strike and run turn 1 for Spirit Tomb. Or no, because you have the Collector too. So this one is
this is insurance on if you're going first or second, right?
Yeah.
If you go first, you strike and run, great, cool. If you go second, then obviously you Collector and you retreat into the Spirit Tomb.
Right.
And
that makes sense.
And use the Spirit Tomb to Claydol. It's first or second turn insurance is what the Collector does for you.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I like that hand actually. That's a really good hand.
Okay, cool.
And then one more with the Stage 2 deck. Ooh.
We keep getting like pretty good hands.
This one's interesting. I would say you obviously take this.
Yeah, you start that.
And an energy to retreat it. I'd say Claydol's too good. Can't prize that, and then the Karina gets the Baltoy.
Yeah.
I
think you just prize the rest of your items at this point, mostly.
letter, yeah, the letter you're not going to need, the stretcher you're not going to need, the rare candy we have the breeder for. Super energy removal is the same thing with energy removal. It's probably not going to be as useful. Escape rope, you're fine with prizing.
Yeah.
You have other stadiums. Scorched Earth just isn't as high a priority.
Yeah, I think you throw the Scorched Earth and then the Wally.
Yeah, I think the Wally goes for sure.
Because you don't even have any basic Pokemon you want a Wally with this hand anyway.
No, I say we get 3 more of these cards. I say we pitch the energy and get these 3.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And then that's your hand. So just turn 1 Copycat, or turn 1.
No, if
turn
you go
1 Karina.
If you go first, you turn 1 Karina, and awkwardly pass.
Yeah.
I would still bench the Volcanion. Like, it gives them that, like, just because if they take a knockout anywhere.
This hand is a little more awkward.
It is very awkward, but I think you obviously start Spiritomb, you bench this, you attach this Karina for Baltoy and pass, and then second turn you go Claydol, and then depends on some stuff, you either Copycat or you don't.
Yeah.
So, it's not the worst hand in the world. So that's for stage 2 decks. Let's keep it moving along. Browse. We're gonna grab the Noivern GX deck,
which is busted, by the way.
Which is busted. Heard it here first. All right. 15 cards. Here we go. Here's one that sucks.
No, not really. You have Collector.
Oh, you do have Collector. I didn't see that. Yeah. So you start either the Porygon or the Unknown Q.
I think you want to start the Free Retreat Porygon, right?
Yeah. You can take that Porygon, you can prize this one.
Yeah. And then you want to keep the Collector, obviously.
Yep. Keep the
Noivern, GX, obviously, yeah.
Here's
prize
the Iris.
You have another Garb, so you can prize that too.
Prize the Garb.
You can prize the Unknown G.
Yeah, well, it depends on what you're playing against, but yes. And I think you could prize the Palpat as well. Because that's a more of a mid to late game card. That is not a. You do not play that card in the first 4 turns of the game.
No. Also Dimension Valley, because that's just for tool drop, and that's very specific situations.
True. So we need 4 more off this. I think you take the N.
Yeah, because that's going to be your second supporter here.
Yep.
Maybe just the Q for Spiritomb, I guess?
You go Q, Uxie, Porygon Z. I think Porygon Z might be too good to prize, and same with Uxie. Yeah,
I think you want to just prize the Gust of Wind and the Devo Spray.
Well, so here's actually now the interesting part. Now that we're taking the Porygon Z, you almost kind of have to take the Devo Spray. Otherwise, the moment you Porygon Z, if you haven't drawn this from your prizes yet, you're stuck. Like, your only out's AZ.
Yeah, I still just would really like the Unknown Q here.
So, do you prize the Uxie?
Maybe?
You can't prize both Porygons.
No, you definitely can't.
Because you could either do, here's what you could do. You could go Porygon Z and Devo Spray, keep the Gust and the Unknown. Or you take, like, these two I think have to go in tandem with each other.
I think the Gust gets prized either, no matter what. So just throw the Gust in the prizes.
Agreed. These two have to stay together.
So I guess the debate is just like Uxie or Unknown Q at this point.
Right. And I agree. I do like the Unknown Q for the Spiritomb. The other problem is we have Noivern GX in hand, which is not necessarily what you want with GX.
No.
With GX-based decks, you really don't want that in your opening hand.
Well, you're going to just end it back into your deck and hope not draw it, honestly.
Right.
So, like, turn 1, you'll Collector for, like, Baltoy, Spiritomb.
It would have been nice if this wasn't in your hand, because then you could Collector for the Spiritomb, retreat, and go right into Noivern.
No, I agree, but you have to play it like this.
Right.
So.
So yeah, I would say the Uxie goes away, and you grab the Q. And keep these, they're too good to not.
Cool.
And so you start the Porygon, I think you keep the Q, just in case some weird, like if they have Verbank Laser, I guess. You don't want them to do any screwy things. And then if you go first, you're actually kind of screwed.
I mean, you don't have a way to like have a good turn one play, no matter
So
what.
you kind of have to hope you go second. So you do that, and then Collector for the Spirit Tomb, and then do your thing.
Spiritoy, Baltoy, and then
Noibat.
Noibat, yeah.
Wait, Spirit Tomb, Baltoy, yeah, and Noibat. I was trying to think if there was any world that you grabbed Trubbish.
No. You need to get the rest of that shit set up first.
Yeah. Alrighty. Load deck to you. It's probably a better way of doing this. Okay. Whew.
Okay, let's see here.
Okay, so going along the lines of too good, like way too good to prize, right? Can't prize Claydol.
Yes.
Like, you just can't. You can't. I don't think you can afford to prize Double Dragon.
Depends on the rest of this hand. I think you're gonna be starting a new Q and then hoping to nest ball for Dunsparce, maybe.
So you would go. You take that, and that. Regardless,
Yeah.
I think Lysander you can afford to prize because you have a second copy.
Same with Trubbish.
Sheemish, Trubbish.
Super Rod can go.
Pop back can go.
Yeah. Huh.
So you have if you go this route, you have 3 more. But see, I think you're right though. I think you kind of have to hope for the best here.
I think you have to take the N just in case they start Spiritomb.
Rocket Diamond.
Rocket Diamond, sorry.
Yeah, because you don't want to Sycamore that hand away. So with
I
that,
think you can actually prize the Sycamore here.
yeah, with that logic, you prize the Sycamore. Like I said, I think you have to take this Double Dragon.
I agree. So then the Double Dragon, I think you're gonna have to prize like, oh boy, maybe I think Goop has to go. Unfortunately,
Because the reason you have to take Double Dragon is because it's going to be a slower start, right? So your energy attachments are going to be kind of wonky.
yeah. A Double Dragon is just one of those cards I agree with. I think it's too important for this deck to prize.
Right. So Teammates, I think, is like the next on the rung, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then it's between these 3. I think.
Go ahead.
No. I was going to say Misty's Wrath has to be prized.
You think so?
I think Goop is. I mean, unfortunately, like I think Junk Arm's going to have to be like the one that you say, okay, it's prized because you have multiple copies of it.
Yeah, I think so.
Unfortunately,
I guess, yeah, the debate now is between Misty's Wrath and Goop here.
And I think you prize the Wrath because I think Goop is just too game changing. Whereas the Misty's Wrath, like you're still going to draw cards, like you're still going to do things. I think, yeah, you're playing a Trubbish Arrogant deck, but you're also going to have a slow start. So Goop might end up being played turn 2 or turn 3 before you get that guard block up.
Oh man, I still that's really close for me. I just feel like this start is so dead that you really want to just try to maximize getting good stuff out. I don't know though.
Well, the thing is, like, if you don't get item locked, you're fine. Because you nest ball
Yeah.
for Dunsparce, you attach, you're great. And if you are item locked, neither of these cards is good for you, so you're going to want to Rocket's Admin.
That's true.
And you're going to want Goop in the deck rather than Misty's Wrath in the deck.
Okay, that's fair.
So that's what it is. Because this hand's honestly fine if you're not item locked.
Yeah.
Because,
I know we said don't do that, but
well, no, it's the thing of, like, you have Rocket's Admin. You're not supposed to be keeping a whole bunch of items, but we're doing this because it covers both of our bases, item lock versus no item lock.
yeah, that's fair.
So... And then,
Yeah, if you're not item locked, this is actually like a pretty decent opening hand.
yeah, and like I said, you're going to want the Goop and the double in your deck rather than like the Misties and the Junk Arm in your deck. So, okay, one more for this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
15. I think that's a mulligan.
That's actually just a mulligan. Cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen that often.
Move all to top of deck. Shuffle. Where's shuffle deck? Do you see shuffle deck? Wait, deck. Shuffle. There we go.
Alex shuffles Alex's deck. Okay.
Oh, this
Oh,
hand's
boy.
hot garbage.
This hand's really bad. Wow.
I think you prize the Celebi.
this would be one where you
If you had your
take
free
your free
mulligan,
mulligan.
if you had your free mulligan, you'd 100% take this because you have no good start, and your best draw supporter is an Oaks.
Oh boy. Okay. I think
you prize Celebi no matter what. That's like a mid to late game card.
yes.
We prize this no matter what. I think this is one where you determine your prizes first, and then you're like, okay, like
What's left?
What's left?
Palpad goes in there.
Palpad goes in there.
You have to keep Noivern. Like, you just can't prize Noivern, because that's the deck.
Right. You can prize at least one energy.
Yeah.
I think you take one energy.
Okay, so maybe this hand is like... Hopefully I can Lapras for Collector, and then I go, like, Unknown Q, Dunsparce something? I'm not sure. Like Unknown Q, Spirit Tomb, Baltoy maybe? Because then you can still Darkness Grace turn 1. Or, no, I'm not sure.
Well, then maybe in that scenario, you take all of your outs here. This can be prized.
I think you prize the Unknown G.
This can be prized. This can be prized.
Yeah, this hand's painful.
I think that's what you do. I think Marley's is just better than US Soda.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you kind of hope that you're not item locked, so then you can Nest Ball for, like, Baltoy or Unknown Q, and then do the Level Ball for the Collector. Or you just get what you need, too. Like, you could just...
Yeah, this hand's pretty scary if they start Spirit Tomb, though.
Yeah, because then you're starting this Uxie. You're going Uxie, attach, Oaks.
Yeah. If you're not item locked, then you can just level ball Lapras Collector, and you're like pretty fine.
Yeah, then you're okay.
It's like it's not ideal, but it's okay.
Then you have 2 searches, and then the next turn you have Oaks to reset that hand.
Yeah.
And so you can even turn 1 Psychic Restore if you wanted to, instead of retreating and Spirit Tombing.
Yeah.
Like,
just depends on the situation, but yeah.
Yeah, because then the Uxie's back in your deck, too.
So, this hand is sketchy if they start Spirit Tomb, though.
Right, that's why you would mulligan this, but... Cool. And then new game, deck editor, browse. We're going to do the Palkia Dialga deck, everyone's favorite.
Not mine.
No, not anybody's. And here we go. But we're going to do like a little bit of a weirder deck. This is a mulligan? Yeah.
It's a natural mulligan, yeah.
Oh, hand.
Shuffle. Or, yeah, move off the top of the deck.
Right.
Test dummy.
Wait,
You're revealing right now.
Oh, move top of... Wait, what? Move all to top of deck. Okay. Deck, shuffle. Cool.
Cool.
Frick, dude.
It's another mulligan.
No.
Oh, Porygon, I didn't see it. Okay.
I wish you could mulligan this hand.
Good lord. Ooh.
Actually, you know what? This is not the bad. Okay, so here's what you do. Because this one, I am going to tell you how to do this one, because you would do this differently.
Oh, you're talking about keeping Hex?
Yes, because you don't keep Hex, apparently.
I should have. I'm going to never load that down.
No, you're not. So you go there. You go there. I think you take the energy, and this is too good to prize. Boom. That's easy. That's an easy one.
Are you gonna like explain that, or are you just gonna?
Nope, I'm just gonna say it's easy. Okay, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'll explain now. Okay, so the reason that you keep this combo here, because obviously you have to start this. You have the Hex, so though if you get under item lock, you can play your shit, right? You can Pokemon Communication away the Heatran level X for Spirit Tomb or Dunsparce or something. Probably Spirit Tomb, to be honest. So you computer search away for Spirit Tomb. You keep this, you can discard it because you're going to recover it eventually. Like, it's not super important, right? It is a mid to late game card, but it's not good enough to prize. And so the Hex
it's too good to prize.
It's too good to prize, but it is a mid to late game card. So you Hex so you can play items if you can. If you're not, you actually have a really, really good hand because you can keep the Heatran in your deck, get another Pokemon. You have this to attach and retreat, and the Porygon goes to your discard pile, and then you can still play another supporter that you oak into.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like, this is fine. This is fine to prize. This is fine to prize. This is like a mid to late game card. You have another copy of N. You have another copy of Juniper. This card's very hit or miss. You have to combine it with something. Depends on what you're playing against. Aerodactyl might hurt in the prizes, but might not. And then Pokédex is just like another bill sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So like, these prizes are also just fine. Like, I think there's another route you could take this deck to. So instead,
You mean this hand?
This hand, yeah. So instead of taking the Hex, you take the N, right?
Yeah.
And it's
And then just say if I'm item locked, I'll just end turn 1.
right. If you're item locked, well, even if you're not item locked, you could PCOM away something for the supporter, right? And then you could just end without oaking, because then it keeps the Porygon Z in your deck, and it keeps the Oak in your deck, and, you know, who knows what happens after that.
Yeah.
So it means that you're not playing your turn 1 Oak, you're playing it turn, like, 4 or 5 after the item lock war has been broken.
I think I like keeping the Hex here more, honestly, though.
I do too. But it's just another way you could do this hand that would be, like, fine.
Yeah.
So this combo right here, like, if you have Hex Oak, I think you take it no matter what.
Well, not no matter what, but a lot of times.
I think 9 times out of 10, if you have those 2 cards in your opening hand, you take them.
I mean, if you have just, like, Collector, why would you do that? Just Collector turn 1.
I still think you do it turn 2. Like, you keep both of these and you have Collector, and then turn 2 you Hex. That's actually even better, because that will shut off their Claydol that they're inevitably going to get turn 2.
That's fair.
So, like, you would go Collector for about, if you had a Collector, like, let's say if, I don't know, friggin' this was a Collector, right? So this is in your deck, you have a Collector. Collector. Because then, like, turn 1, you go Collector for Spiritomb, Baltoy,
Yeah.
Bronzong, or something like that. And then you PCOM this away for Porygon 2. You retreat into the Spiritomb, evolve your Claydol, turn 2, you go boom, download Hex and Oak. Then you can still play a second supporter your second turn. They're not using their Claydol, and you're getting the benefit of everything.
Yep. Sounds good.
So so the whole original way to describe that is, I think no matter what, you take those 2 in combo. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Cool. This is number 2 on this.
Yes.
Okay, so Porygon's the only Pokemon.
Oh boy.
This hand is hot garbage.
I think you have to take Battle Compressor Retriever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you could do that for your the Lapras or the Uxie.
Yeah.
Problem is, like, you can't take Hex to activate that.
I mean, I still think you have to take Hex.
Well, actually, no, you don't take Hex, you take Guzma. Because
no, but you can't play Guzma.
Yeah, you can.
Not under item lock.
Under item lock?
Because you don't have another Pokemon to switch with.
No, your opponent's gonna have it. You don't have to do it. If they have to have at least one.
You have to switch first, right?
No, you switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. If you do, switch your active. So they have to have a bench. You can have a no bench.
Okay,
so
that's fair.
inevitably, if they start Spiritomb, they're obviously gonna have something to Spiritomb.
That's fair.
So you Guzma that up, and then you use your Battle Compressor Pokemon Retriever combo to get probably a Uxie.
Yeah.
Because Lapras is obviously...
Or you could get Dunsparce with that.
Oh, because you do have the free retreat. Yeah, Dunsparce actually would be better.
Yes, it would be.
So you keep...
Because then you can do it even under Ability Lock or something.
Correct. So that's 5 of getting that turn 1. So a blanket statement, you're looking for the turn 1, a way to get a turn 1 Spiritomb or Dunsparce. I think that's just like the blanket thing we should say. Yeah. Like, how can you get it? Can you get it under item lock? And do you have a draw supporter for next turn?
Yes.
I think there's your blanket turn 1 way to look at your hand. I like that.
In most situations, yeah, I agree.
So we still have to pick 2 more cards for this hand, though.
Okay, I think Focus Band goes prize.
I think Focus Band and even Bronzong Break get prized.
Bronzong Break is prize.
Superior Energy Removal gets prized.
Broken Time Space.
Yeah, that's not really an evolution-based deck.
Yeah, Time Space Distortion. You're already down a Retriever. But, like...
Recovery is just so important in this deck. I think you have to take either one of these. You can't prize both of these.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you would take the Hex, prize the Goop.
That's fair.
Because you can loop the hex.
Yeah. You have to remember, like, you're probably not going to get access to most of this stuff throughout the game until way late.
Right. And the rest of the stuff you're like fine with like not having access to. These, however,
I think you keep the scoop up and prize the other two. I think the scoop up's more important than anything else. That's hard though. Those are all three.
I think it's between those two in the end. Like, it sucks that you have to prize the time space. You know what you could do? You could be really cheeky, and instead of taking the retriever, you take the time space. Because then, I mean, it's the chances of you hitting triple tails is actually, I think, pretty low, right?
I mean, it's, what is it? 30? It's 50.
It's way less than that. Like,
It's 12.5%.
I would take those odds in order to try to get a second Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true. Because then you could battle compressor like 2 things away.
Yeah, and I think that's what you would do. You compress her 2 things, not 3.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that actually gets you a turn 1. That actually gets you turn 1 if you go, if you compress her away Spirit Tomb and Baltoy. Although that's really risky.
Yes, it is. I mean, you could maybe keep the retriever instead of the hex, or you just keep the retriever and prize the gust and the scoop up.
I don't mind that. You still have swoop.
Yeah.
You're just like really banking on your swoop, and obviously you're not gonna have that turn 1 Uxie or the turn 1.
Yeah. I don't mind this. Like, it's really awkward and kind of shitty, but you know, I think it's the best you can do with this.
Yeah.
Also, this is proving how good the free retreat Porygon is over the other one, I feel like.
Oh yeah, no, totally. Okay, one more game, and then we'll bid you all a farewell. Alright. I hope this is helping people.
It's helping me.
Fuck, this hand sucks.
Is that the 3 retreat?
Yep.
Bronzor?
Yep. I mean, there's no supporter in this hand either.
You have Lapras.
Okay, actually, you know what? This might not be the worst.
I think you Lapras turn 1 for Guzma and Ultra Ball for like
Nice, that's what I was gonna do too. Yeah.
Dunsparce.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was gonna do. And
Yeah.
if they start Spirit Tomb, I mean, they have to have something on the bench if they're starting Spirit Tomb. Odds are.
Right.
If they don't, AZ's not. Oh, if they don't start Spirit Tomb, or if they only start Spirit Tomb and nothing on the bench.
I mean, if they do that, then it's just like a slow start for both players. So like whatever.
Right. I think you can prize that.
Yeah. Press Focus Band. You have to keep the metal.
Yes. I think you have to keep this too good to prize.
Yeah. And you also have to think that you have to Ultra Ball these things away. Yeah, you have to keep the Ultra Ball. So yeah, here it's Ultra Ball, 2 things away, Lapras for Guzma into your Dunsparce.
Honestly, you're probably going to Ultra Ball away the Porygon too.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, don't.
No, I don't like that actually.
The Porygon 2 away?
Yeah, I think we can find, because I think you're going to want to evolve into that right away.
You and what supporter though?
Oh, that's fair.
Like, you're going to want Claydol over Porygon 2.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Porygon 2, this deck has a lot of recovery in it, right? It's got a bunch. It's got Time Space, it's got Retriever, it's got Stretcher. It's got a lot of things, so I think you can afford to Ultra Ball that away just to keep some other card in your hand.
Okay. I think Pokedex Handy just goes away.
Oh yeah, that definitely goes away.
Aqua Patch, maybe?
Yeah, as much as I love that card in this deck. Could prize the Goop.
Yeah.
I think maybe even the Stretcher.
Yeah, I think the Stretcher. You have 2 other ways of getting things back.
I think even more than that. But I think, yeah, Item Fighter's too important versus Seeker's way too important.
Yeah, I agree.
So this hand, like, you start this, you do this for Guzma into, unfortunately, when you don't play it yet, you Ultra Ball
You can't. Oh boy.
Oh god.
You see the dilemma now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's no way of retreating this though. So I think you actually just go attach Ultra Ball. You're discarding that and that.
How are you ultra long if they start Spirit Tomb though?
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to think of what you could honestly just say screw it, Lapras for N, and hope,
Oh.
and hope and pray.
This hand just really sucks.
That really much does. You would definitely want to mulligan this hand away.
I mean, I guess you just kind of have to hope that...
Lapras attach for Guzma, Ultra Ball for maybe Uxie?
I guess?
Because you go switch here, right? This is the Guzma. You get this up. Ultra Ball goes for Lapras. You only have one card in hand, plus your top deck, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And then you're keeping this in your hand actually. So you're gonna Uxie, and a lot of things actually unlock Item Finder, because then Battle Compressor unlocks a lot of things, because you can Battle Compressor something away either versus you're already in the discard pile, or
right.
If you need to Ultra Ball for another, like if you grab a Float Stone, for instance, then you could grab some stuff. It sucks that you have both.
I don't think you necessarily attach to the Lapras Vital Ray. I think you want to try to Uxie into like Float Stone first.
That's leaving you with 2 cards in your hand.
Yeah.
3 even if your top deck is bad.
I mean, I think you just want to try to hit the Float Stone first, and then if you miss it, then attach to Lapras? I don't know. This hand is really sucky.
What's our top deck? Yikes.
Okay, well.
Okay, well that's where you should get rid of that guy. Yeah, no, it is a bad hand. But I think this gives you the best odds of like not starting crap. Because obviously you're going to start this and this, right? Like, the process of eliminations is we have to start this and this. You can't prize this. We have to start this. Like, those are the 4 you have to keep. Now you're limited to 3 between all of this. Like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. So now you get 2 of these 6.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 3 of these 6. You get half these cards. So unfortunately, like we already kind of discussed it, like these are like the best 3 to go with.
Yeah, I agree. This hand is just bad.
This is really bad. Like you had 100%.
I think that's the way you have to try to approach it, though.
Yeah. So, anyways, so that's opening hands. What did I say? The idea, basically, just to sum up, is to try to get the turn 1 Spirit Tomb or turn 1 Dunsparce. If you can do that, then you try to get a supporter in your hand. If you can do that, then you try to keep as much good stuff as you possibly can.
Yeah, and you always have to think about what is really important to your deck, like keeping, not necessarily for the early game, but for later on, that you don't want to prize, I guess.
Yeah. Because, like, you don't want to be like, oh, man, this hand's godly, but I have to prize this Baltoy. Like, you don't want to do that. This deck, this hand's really good, but I want to prize this Dusknoir.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do that. So, I hope this video helped. Do you think it helped people?
I hope so. Mulliganing is just a hard process. It just takes a lot of trial and error and just getting used to.
A lot of practice. Hopefully you learn something, but the best way you can learn is just by practicing and looking at a hand and being like, yeah, I'm okay with this, and then playing out that first turn or two. I've never been a fan of, like, solitaire in games. Like, most people, they take their standard deck and they solitaire the first 2 or 3 turns. I don't see how that really helps, but with this format, I think it's really helpful.
Just to see like how your mulligan decisions and how your prize decisions impacted your opening few turns.
Correct. Alrighty. If you have any questions, please let us know. If not, hope you enjoy the video.